The Group Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mili Kyari, on Thursday announced that the company would be constructing another international gas pipeline worth about $8 billion. NNPCL and its partners are currently working on the construction of the $25 billion Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline that is to supply gas from Nigeria to about 11 African countries and transport same from Morocco to Europe. Speaking during a panel session at the ongoing 8th Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries International Seminar in Vienna, Austria, Kyari stated that the proposed $8 billion pipeline would go through Niger Republic to Algeria and then to Europe. Kyari, in a roundtable conversation at the seminar titled Eradicating Energy Poverty, stated there were many other gas projects being handled by the oil company to further deepen the penetration of gas in Nigeria and other nations. Once completed, the Nigeria-Morocco pipeline project will enhance the monetization of the natural gas resources of the affected African countries and also offer a new alternative export route to Europe. The Prince's Trust International, a non-profit organization established by King Charles of England, has been launched in Nigeria to address the urgent issue of youth unemployment on a global scale. The launch, which took place at a reception in Lagos on Wednesday, was attended by high-profile functionaries, including the Deputy British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ben Llewellyn-Jones. Speaking at the launch, Llewellyn-Jones said the PTI's launch in Nigeria would bridge the existing skills gap, giving more youth people access to quality training that would make them more employable. The Chief Executive Officer of Prince's Trust International, Will Straw, said the initiative was built to commence in the aftermath of King Charles' visit to Nigeria in 2018, but was delayed due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to him, in the last 18 months, the Trust has been helping young people gain the skills they need for the world of work. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has warned industrial entities to brace up for disruption as technology continues to upend the way businesses operate all over the world. LCCI's chairman of Trade Promotion Board, Leye Kumoluyi, stated this at a media launch to herald this year's Information Communication Technology and Telecommunications Expo. The LCCI's ICTEL Expo, currently in its 9th edition, will be held on July 25 to 26, 2023 at Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. The theme of this year's event is Tech Disrupt, Transforming Industries with Innovation. Speaking at the launch, Kumoluyi said that in order to sustain innovation and catch up with the world, Nigerian startups must be given a platform to practically demonstrate their new technological discoveries. He said this would enable the business enterprises to have desirable turnover, increase profit margin, gain market share, and enhance customer loyalty. Up ahead, Niger Delta Development Commission completes projects worth over 1.66 trillion naira. These and more after this commercial break. The Niger Delta Development Commission on Thursday said it had so far completed about 7,000 projects valued at over 1.66 trillion naira in the Niger Delta region, adding that 6,000 of the projects were currently ongoing. It outlined the completed and ongoing projects, including roads, bridges, buildings, renewable energy projects, jetties, water supply system, skill acquisition centers, healthcare and educational projects, among others. The NDDC, established on June 5, 2020 by the Niger Delta Development Commission Establishment Act No. 6 of 2020, is a federal government agency that has the sole mandate of developing the oil-rich Niger Delta region of Nigeria. The Commission also disclosed that the 6,000 ongoing projects in the region were valued at over 1.5 trillion naira, adding that the agency had awarded more than 5 trillion naira worth of contracts since it was established. The federal government has said that there is no decision yet regarding selling the shares of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to the public through an initial public offering. An online medium had reported on Wednesday that the NNPCL missed the deadline for the launch of its initial public offering, stating that this was contained in the National Oil Company's latest quarterly report. In accordance with the Petroleum Industry Act, the oil firm transitioned from a state-run corporation to a commercial venture on July 19, 2022. NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer Mili Kyari had, during the transition ceremony in Abuja, stated that the company would be ready to launch an IPO by mid-year in 2023. During an IPO, the shares of a firm are sold to institutional investors interested in owning stakes in that particular company. Mili Kyari on Thursday said the delay in the IPO declaration was not the decision of the oil company, but the government. The federal government has warned carbon emission reduction traders who were trading without recourse to designated authorities to desist from such activity. Carbon trade is the buying and selling of credits that permits a company or other entity to emit a certain amount of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases. The carbon credits and the carbon trade are authorized by governments with the goal of gradually reducing overall carbon emissions and mitigating their contribution to climate change. The federal government's warning came in Abuja at the validation workshop for the assessment of carbon pricing initiative in Nigeria. The government explained that the country had released an initial regulatory guidance which emphasized the need for a carbon trading scheme. Speaking at the workshop, the Director General, National Council on Climate Change, a federal government agency, Salisu Dahiru, said the regulatory guidance would be tailored toward the government's priority and would align with Nigeria's nationally determined contributions on carbon emissions and should not be altered. Still to come, Trinidad and Tobago signed preliminary energy agreement with Suriname. Details and more news updates after this commercial break. Welcome back. Moving to the African scene, Suriname on Thursday said it has signed a memorandum of understanding with Trinidad and Tobago that aims to increase energy cooperation. People familiar with the matter said it would lead to natural gas from Suriname being piped to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago has been searching for ways to expand its supplies of natural gas. The Caribbean nation can process some 4.2 billion cubic feet per day of gas into liquefied natural gas and petrochemicals, but its current output is less than 2.7 billion cubic feet per day, according to government statistics. Suriname's President Chadri Kabsad Santohi met on Thursday with Trinidad Prime Minister Kent Rowley in the port of Spain. The Prime Minister's Office of Trinidad and Tobago, in a press statement, said both countries will now move to establish technical teams to conduct feasibility studies to determine the way forward.